Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, No Anxiety Investing, where you can invest with peace of mind. Today, I really want to talk about one of my favorite stocks, my second biggest holding, the Toronto Dominion Bank. There's been a lot of chatter on different forums and chat groups. I read all this stuff. I talk to my friends, and people are complaining about, oh, it's at all-time highs. Well, you can't buy it now. You have to wait for some type of dip or crash. Well, hold on a second, guys. Yeah, it is at all-time highs here at $82, but look at the price-to-earnings ratio here. It's 12.49. This isn't like an Apple where it's like 35 price to earnings. That's ridiculous. I mean, they make a lot of money. Maybe it's not ridiculous, but that's a high price to earnings. 12? 12 is not a problem, guys. This is fantastic where it's at right here. Look at the dividend yield. We're at 3.85 still. This is very respectable. It's not the highest of the banks, but we have the best growth available here in Toronto Dominion Bank. They're going to be the ones who raise the dividend the most, in my opinion, out of the big five, okay? And here's why. Let's take a look at why here, guys. Look at their dividend history here, okay? In 95, we're talking 22 cents. Okay, that's garbage, whatever. Now we're at 3.11 a year. Okay, this is fantastic, and they've been paying out for 164 continuous years, never missing one payment for a war, for a plague, for just anything. It doesn't matter. These guys are going to pay you. The target payouts between 40 and 50%. It's a little bit higher right now due to the economic condition that we're in. But the OFSI is about to lift their ban. Okay, I talked about it in my last Canadian Banks video. They're about to lift their ban on dividend raises and share buybacks. It is my opinion, and it makes perfect sense with the amount of money they're holding on the sidelines, that TD Bank will be raising their dividend. Okay, and I expect it to be in the upper single digits to lower double digit range. And some of you out there are stressed out about, oh, you know, this year they did well, but it's not their best year ever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's look at the potential factors, the potential problems here. Hold on, here we go. Okay, now here's their loan portfolio here. This is what you need to look at. The people who are worried about them not having enough money to A, pay the dividend, or B, to increase it, this is what you need to look at, okay? And all this information is in their Q1 earnings report, okay? That's where I'm pulling everything from here. Now, okay, residential mortgages and the HELOCs, that's almost 50%, okay? And these are safe things. People are worried about like a housing collapse in Canada for some reason. I do not understand this. I've got friends that are waiting to buy a house, and they keep saying, oh, everyone's going to default on their mortgage and the bank's going to sell their houses for so cheap. I mean, that is just an ignorant statement, guys. Let's just dissect that for a second. If people have houses that they've had for more than 6 months, the amount of money they can obtain from selling these houses, they can pay back the bank, they can rent for a couple of years and still have money left over. No one's going to be defaulting, guys. You got to get that out of your head here, okay? This residential mortgages and HELOC percentage, this is safe money. Feel really, really good about that, okay? Okay, so retail 15%, okay, that's maybe not the best, that's whatever. Non-retail 29%, but these aren't important. What we're going to really get into is this 6.2% here, this little piece of the gray pie, okay? Now, they indicated that this is maybe the parts of their loan books that they're going to have trouble with, okay? And they said this, not me, this is their opinion, and you can take a look at the industries that they lent this money out to. I'm going to start over here with the transportation industry. Okay, all right, airlines, they're in a terrible situation, but they're getting government bailout, they're getting aid, and with that aid, they can pay their debtors, aka TD Bank. And look at the percentage of their overall loan that it is, 0.1 to airlines. Okay, that's nothing, guys. This is not an issue. Cruise lines, even worse than airlines. Yeah, I would say they're worse. We're at $0.1 billion. That's nothing. That's a rounding error for these guys. Okay, here's an interesting one, though, okay? Oil and gas. All right, well, oil wasn't as high earlier in the year. Now it's around $60 a barrel. It was just at 65. So the big players like Suncor, CNR, they are very profitable at $60 oil, okay? The small players aren't. That's where you're going to have a little problem. But even if these small players run into problems, the big boys are going to buy them. And no one's just defaulting on loans and economies are collapsing. This is not the end of the world. This is not a big deal. And it's only 0.6% of the loan portfolio, okay? And I know a lot of you guys hate oil and gas. Blah, blah, blah. It's a necessary evil, okay? It's okay. Anyways, the next sector is retail. retail is probably a problem. You have these little stores like Aritzia and American Eagle. They're going to have a tough time in the future. So this 0.4% of their loan book here, yeah, that's a problem. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but it represents almost nothing, okay? Now, restaurants, that's another one that's a problem. Small restaurants, mom and pop restaurants that have loans, they are in trouble. The government in Canada, at least, is really providing them with a lot of bailouts, but I don't think a lot of them can stay afloat. There might be some defaults here, all right? But yet again, it's only 0.3%. It's almost like the people who work at TD Bank foresaw every scenario and covered themselves. And, they really thought, hey, we have a fiduciary responsibility to these shareholders. Let's really make sure nothing can crack this bank. And that's exactly what they did here, guys. We got office REITs. People are stressed out about office REITs. I don't think they're that bad. People are not going to be working from home forever. Some jobs will cycle there, but people will be going back to the office, even if it's not 5 days a week. The office space, especially in big major cities, it's going to be leased. Don't worry about it, guys. This isn't a stress for me. I hope it's not a stress for you. Retail, we already talked about that. The hotel. Okay, hotel, there's another issue there. I'm not going to lie. But yet again, it's 0.2%. Hotels aren't all going out of business. Like, they're going to have some tough times. Some of them will go under. All of these sectors are not doing great right now, but a lot of them will recover, okay? You don't need to stress out, and TD Bank has said, the only issue in our loan portfolio is 6.2% out of 100, okay? So even if everyone defaults here in this whole pie, this whole gray pie, this bank's laughing, okay? Are you guys reassured yet? Are you guys feeling better? Because I'm ready to put more money in, all right? I don't know what everyone's talking about. Oh, it's at all-time highs. Highs are meant to be broken, and the price to earnings that they're at right now is fine. It's a very reasonable markup to pay, all right? Now, let's take a look at another thing that's going to calm your anxiety down, all right? Now, look, for total assets in Canadian banks, they are number one. They are not the biggest bank. Royal Bank is the biggest bank. They're about $20 billion in market cap, bigger roughly, depending on the day. Total assets, number one. Total deposits, number one. And like I said, market cap's number two. This is the most important one here, okay, guys? Total deposits. The more money that they take in, the more money that they can lend out. This is why this is going to be a huge driver in their growth, okay? If they can stay at number one, good times are ahead. Now, I want to touch upon a possible disruptor for the Canadian banks, just the banking industry in general, and that's the Fintechs, okay? The new Fintech startups, they actually might be a problem later on in the future. They're not going to take the big banks out of business, but they might take market share. Look at Tangerine Bank. That's a Canadian example. Scotia actually bought them a while ago, but they give you a no-fee bank account. They give you like a cool app. Like, I have an account there too. They give you free money for signing up. It's a lot more fun to use than the big banking apps right now. It's more intuitive. They try to market themselves like as a cooler, fun thing. Anyways, so this might be a problem later down the road. Now, TD Bank is no slouch. They're either ranked number one or number two, depending on the quarter, with CIBC in users using their digital apps. And this is going to be huge going forward for them, okay? 14 million digital users total. Most of them are in Canada. We got some in the US there. Now, back when I started using TD's direct investing app, I also had the RBC direct investing app, and the RBC one was absolutely garbage. I was going to switch everything over to TD and just close my RBC until they updated their app, and now their app, in my opinion, is a lot better. So I stick to it. That's how important it is. Okay, whoever has the best app, I'm switching my money over because I want the ease, the usability, the lightning speed, and I want it to look good. I want it to feel good. All right, I want to have that confidence. So this is going to be a huge driver going forward. Is the digital apps, the digital presence. I mean, they all have those. The AIs, the Know Me, and whatever they're called. They're kind of stupid, but TD's app is pretty good. I like what they're doing there, and they're spending some money on this. I hope they continue to spend more money investing in the infrastructure, software updates in the future. It's going to be huge for them. All right, guys, I hope you're feeling super confident about TD Bank being just an absolute great place to put your money. I just want to touch on one thing before we end this video off here. We're going to look at their 2020 earnings mix, all right? Now, 58% is the Canadian retail, and 18% is the U.S. retail. And these are the important numbers here. The biggest economy in the world is where TD needs to be focusing on their future. And they have a great presence in the state. It's my opinion that TD is going to continue pushing hard there, and they should, and that is going to pay off huge in the long run. Banks like CIBC, another one of my favorite banks, they don't have that strong American presence, and they're getting hurt by it, okay? If we need growth, we need U.S. retail banking, we need the business banking side of it to really rocket ship up. I hope you guys liked my little speech about why you should invest in TD Bank. I'm currently dripping 2 shares a quarter. I'm loving it. I'm watching those numbers go up every quarter in my account. And this year, when they raise that dividend, oh my God, I might have a party. That's how excited I am. This is my second biggest holding. I hope you have it up there in your portfolio too. I'm loving it. It's a keeper forever. I will never sell. I do not care what happens in the economy. If this bank takes a huge dive in share price, it doesn't matter. It's better if the share price goes down. We can drip additional shares. We can compound. It's fantastic. I hope you guys buy it. That's my recommendation. Join me in that. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you continue investing with no anxiety. Sleep well at night. This is a great investment, guys. See you in the next video.